Hong Kong has a rich and complex history. It's a place where East meets West. This story, can be seen in many things. One of the most interesting is its money. Coins tell us about the people who used them, they show who was in power, and they reveal what was important to the economy. For a place like Hong Kong, a major center for trade and finance, coins are especially important. They're small pieces of history that you can actually hold in your hand. They connect us to the past, in a very direct way. This essay will explore the fascinating world of Hong Kong's gold coins, which are some of the rarest and most beautiful coins in the world. Gold has always been a symbol of wealth and power. For centuries, kings and empires have minted gold coins. These coins were used for large payments and international trade. They were also a way to show off a ruler's authority. In Hong Kong, gold coins are not as common as silver or bronze ones. They were often made for special reasons, which makes them even more interesting to collectors and historians. Each gold coin tells a unique story about a specific moment in Hong Kong's past. From the early British colonial days to modern times, these shiny pieces of metal mark important events and changes in the city's identity. For an American audience, understanding Hong Kong's coins can offer a new perspective on global history. The story involves the British Empire, trade with China, and the rise of a global financial hub. The designs on the coins change over time. They show British monarchs, Chinese symbols, and important local landmarks. Looking at these designs helps us understand how Hong Kong's identity has evolved. It moved from a simple British colony to a unique city with its own culture. The journey of Hong Kong's gold coins is a journey through its economic and political development, a story written in precious metal. This exploration will cover every known gold coin from Hong Kong. We'll start from the very beginning, looking at what kind of money was used before the British arrived. Then we'll dive into the colonial era, examining the very first gold coins minted for the territory. We'll look at their designs, their purpose, and the stories behind their creation. We'll also cover modern commemorative coins, issued after the 1997 handover to China. By the end, you'll have a complete picture of Hong Kong's numismatic history, a story that is as valuable and enduring as the gold coins themselves. Before the British flag was raised in 1841, Hong Kong was a quiet area of fishing villages. It was part of Imperial China. The people living there used the same money as the rest of the Chinese Empire. Gold coins were not part of this system for everyday use. Chinese currency was based on a different standard. The main units were bronze or brass cash coins for small transactions. These coins had a square hole in the middle, which allowed people to string them together for easier carrying. For larger payments, people used silver. The silver was not in the form of coins but in lumps called saisi or taels. The value of a silver saisi was determined by its weight and purity. Merchants would carry small scales to weigh the silver for each transaction. This system was very flexible but also complicated. It required experts to check the quality of the silver. Gold was also used, but it was even rarer. It was typically kept in the form of bars or jewelry. Gold was a store of wealth, something for the very rich or for the government's treasury. It was not used for buying and selling goods in the local market. So, before the British came, the average person in the Hong Kong area would never have seen or used a gold coin in their daily life. When European traders, including the British, began arriving in the region, they brought their own money. Spanish silver dollars, often called pieces of 8, became very popular in China. These large silver coins were trusted for their consistent weight and purity. They were minted in huge numbers in the Spanish colonies in the Americas. These coins circulated alongside Chinese money. The mix of different currencies made trade complicated. Everyone had to agree on exchange rates. This complex monetary situation was what the British found when they established their new colony in Hong Kong. The British wanted to create a more orderly and stable currency system for their new possession. They wanted a system that would help trade and commerce grow. Their goal was to introduce coins that would be accepted by both Chinese and Western merchants. At first, they simply allowed various foreign coins to continue circulating, but soon, they realized they needed their own official coinage for Hong Kong. This decision would eventually lead to the creation of Hong Kong's very first coins, including some incredibly rare and valuable gold pieces that marked a new era for the territory. The first official gold coin intended for circulation in Hong Kong was the British gold trade dollar. This coin was proposed in the early 1860s. The British government wanted to create a special coin for trade in the Far East. The idea was to compete with the popular Spanish and Mexican silver dollars. A gold dollar would be a high-value coin, useful for large business deals. The Royal Mint in London prepared designs and even struck some pattern coins in 1864. A pattern coin is a proposed design that is not yet approved for mass production. These patterns are extremely rare today. The design of the proposed gold dollar was very British. The obverse, or front side, featured a portrait of Queen Victoria. She was shown facing left, with her hair in a bun. The inscription around her read, Victoria DG Britannia Reg FD, which is Latin for Victoria, by the grace of God, Queen of the Britons, Defender of the Faith. This was a standard design used on many British coins of the era. It clearly marked the coin as a product of the British Empire. The design was meant to project an image of power, stability, and authority throughout the trading ports of Asia. The reverse, or backside, of the coin was unique. It featured the Chinese characters Yi Yuan, Yat Yuan, which means $1. It also had the English words $1 Hong Kong and the date. In the center was a decorative pattern known as the Garter. This was a symbol of the highest order of British chivalry. The combination of English and Chinese text was a very important feature. It showed that the coin was meant to be used by both Western and Chinese merchants. The goal was to create a coin that everyone in the region could trust and easily use. Unfortunately, the gold trade dollar was never issued for circulation. The project was cancelled. There were several reasons for this. One reason was the high cost of minting gold coins. Another was uncertainty about whether the coin would be accepted in the market. The British government decided to focus on silver coinage instead. As a result, only a very small number of the 1864 gold dollar patterns were ever made. These coins are now legendary among collectors. They represent the first attempt by the British to introduce a gold coin specifically for Hong Kong, a bold idea that never came to be. 2 years after the failed gold dollar project, the British tried again. This time, they focused on a silver dollar. In 1866, the Hong Kong Mint was opened. This was a major step. It meant Hong Kong could produce its own coins locally. The Mint's main task was to produce a silver Hong Kong dollar. This coin was intended to become the standard currency for the colony. To celebrate this important event, a tiny number of special coins were struck. Among them was perhaps the most famous and sought-after of all Hong Kong coins, the 1866 proof gold dollar. This coin was not meant for circulation. It was a proof coin. A proof is a very high-quality coin, struck with specially polished dies. They're made as presentation pieces or for collectors, not for spending. The 1866 gold dollar was struck using the same dies as the new silver dollar. Its design was therefore identical to the silver version that went into circulation. The obverse showed the crowned head of Queen Victoria. The reverse had the Chinese characters Yi Yuan and Shanggong, Hong Kong, within a decorative border, along with the English words $1 Hong Kong, 1866. The key difference, of course, was the metal. Instead of silver, this coin was struck in solid gold. It has a weight of 26.96 grams and is made of 91.67% pure gold. Only 2 of these coins are known to exist for certain. One is in a museum collection in the United Kingdom. The other is in a private collection. It's believed they were made as presentation pieces for very important officials connected to the opening of the mint. The existence of this coin shows the great pride and ambition that the British had for their new mint in Hong Kong. The story of the Hong Kong Mint itself is short and interesting. It was a very modern facility for its time, but it was not successful. It was expensive to run, and its silver dollars were not as popular as hoped. The Chinese merchants were accustomed to the familiar Mexican dollars, and were slow to accept the new Hong Kong coins. The mint was closed in 1868, after only 2 years of operation. The machinery was sold to Japan, where it helped to establish the Japan Mint in Osaka. The rare 1866 gold dollar is a beautiful reminder of this brief but important chapter in Hong Kong's history. After the Hong Kong Mint closed in 1868, the currency situation, well, it remained pretty messy. The British needed a reliable silver coin for trade in Asia, and their solution was the British trade dollar. This was a large silver coin, first issued in 1895. It wasn't a specific Hong Kong coin, but rather, it was minted for use across various British territories in the East, including the Straits Settlements, what we now know as Singapore and Malaysia, as well as Hong Kong. The coin was actually minted in several locations like Bombay and Calcutta in India, and also in London. Its purpose was purely commercial, meant to facilitate trade. The design of the British trade dollar is, honestly, quite iconic. On the obverse, you have Britannia, the female personification of Great Britain. She's standing on a shore, holding a trident and a shield, with a merchant ship sailing in the background. This powerful image was meant to symbolize Britain's naval and commercial might. Now, the reverse of the coin is also pretty interesting. It has the denomination in two languages, English, which reads $1, and Chinese, which shows yuan. Plus, it even has the value in a third language, Malay, written in Arabic script. This trilingual design really shows just how widely the coin was intended to be used. Although the British trade dollar was a silver coin, its story is, still relevant to the history of gold in Hong Kong. The world was moving towards the gold standard during this period. The gold standard is a monetary system where a country's currency is directly linked to a specific amount of gold. Great Britain was on the gold standard, but China was on a silver standard. This created a pretty complicated exchange rate between the two systems. Hong Kong, caught in the middle, had a currency based on a silver dollar, but its value ultimately floated against Britain's gold-backed pound sterling. The era of the silver trade dollar came to an end in the 1930s. The price of silver fluctuated wildly on the world market, making a currency based on silver very unstable. In 1935, Hong Kong officially abandoned the silver standard and pegged its currency directly to the British pound sterling. This meant the Hong Kong dollar was now part of the gold standard world, even though, interestingly, there were no gold coins in circulation. From this point on, the money used in Hong Kong was paper banknotes and coins made of cheaper metals, like nickel and bronze. The age of precious metal currency for daily use was, well, truly over. For many decades after Hong Kong left the silver standard, no gold coins were produced. The focus was on practical currency for a growing economy. But this all changed in 1975. That year, Queen Elizabeth II made her first official visit to Hong Kong. This was a major, historical event. To commemorate the occasion, the Hong Kong government decided to issue a special collector's coin. This was the first gold coin issued for Hong Kong in over a century, and it really marked the beginning of a new era of modern commemorative coinage for the territory. The coin issued for the royal visit was a large and impressive piece. It was a 1,000 Hong Kong dollar coin, struck in 22-karat gold. Its weight was just about 16 grams. The obverse of the coin featured a now famous portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This was the standard portrait used on British and Commonwealth coins at the time. The reverse design was specific to Hong Kong. It showed the Hong Kong coat of arms, which featured a Chinese junk boat and a British lion. The design celebrated the unique blend of Chinese and British heritage in the colony. The 1975 Royal Visit gold coin was a huge success. It was very popular with both local residents and international coin collectors. It was sold in a special presentation case and was seen as a prestigious souvenir of the Queen's visit. The success of this coin led the government to issue more gold coins for special occasions. A new series of $1,000 gold coins was launched, featuring the Chinese Lunar New Year animals. The first one, for the Year of the Rabbit, was issued in 1976. This series would become a long-running and beloved tradition. These modern gold coins were different from the earlier colonial coins. They were not intended for circulation. They were legal tender, meaning they could technically be used as money for their face value of $1,000. However, their value in gold was much higher, so no one would ever spend them. Their purpose was to be collected, saved, and admired. They were a way for the government to celebrate Hong Kong's culture and history, and also to generate revenue from sales to collectors. This model of issuing non-circulating legal tender gold coins became the standard for Hong Kong. The most significant event in modern Hong Kong history was the handover of sovereignty from the United Kingdom to the People's Republic of China on July 1, 1997. This momentous occasion was marked by many celebrations and official events. It was also commemorated with the issuance of a very special gold coin, This coin was designed to capture the historical importance of the moment. It symbolized the end of over 150 years of British rule and the beginning of a new era under the one country, two systems principle. This commemorative coin was also a $1,000 gold piece. It was struck in 22-karat gold and had the same weight and specifications as the earlier Lunar New Year coins. The design, however, was completely new and highly symbolic. The obverse of the coin did not feature Queen Elizabeth II. Instead, it featured the beautiful Bauhinia blakina flower. This flower had recently been adopted as the new emblem of Hong Kong. It appeared on the new flag and coat of arms of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Using the Bauhinia flower instead of the Queen's portrait was a clear signal of the change in sovereignty. The reverse of the coin was equally powerful in its design. It featured a stunning view of the Hong Kong skyline, with Victoria Harbour in the foreground. Above the skyline, there is a depiction of two hands shaking. These hands represent the smooth and peaceful transfer of power from Britain to China. The date 1997 is prominently displayed. The design masterfully conveys a sense of continuity and optimism for the future. It celebrates Hong Kong's status as a world-class city while acknowledging the profound political change that was taking place. The coin was a message of hope for the future. The 1997 handover gold coin was highly sought after by collectors around the world. It was not just a piece of precious metal, it was a tangible piece of history. For the people of Hong Kong, it was a souvenir of a once-in-a-lifetime event that would define their city's future. For international observers, it was a symbol of a major shift in global politics. The coin perfectly fulfilled its role as a commemorative item, capturing the spirit of a unique historical moment in a small, beautifully crafted object. It remains one of the most important and meaningful coins in Hong Kong's entire numismatic history. One of the most popular and long-lasting series of Hong Kong gold coins is the Lunar New Year series. This tradition began in 1976, the year after the successful Royal Visit coin. The government decided to issue a $1,000 gold coin each year to celebrate the Chinese zodiac. The Chinese zodiac is a 12-year cycle, with each year represented by an animal. The first coin in the series was for the Year of the Rabbit in 1976. This was followed by the Dragon in 1977, the Snake in 1978, and so on, completing the full 12-year cycle. The design of these coins followed a consistent format for many years. The obverse always featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This really reinforced Hong Kong's status as a British colony. The reverse side was different each year. It featured a beautiful and artistic depiction of the zodiac animal for that year. For example, the 1976 coin showed a rabbit, the 1980 coin showed a monkey, and the 1988 coin showed a magnificent dragon. The designs were often very dynamic and celebrated traditional Chinese art styles. The combination of a British monarch on one side and a Chinese cultural symbol on the other perfectly represented Hong Kong's unique identity. After the handover in 1997, the Lunar New Year gold coin series continued, but with a significant design change. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse was replaced. The new obverse design featured the Bauhinia flower, the new symbol of Hong Kong. The reverse side continued to feature the zodiac animal for the year. This change reflected Hong Kong's new political status as a special administrative region of China. The series remained extremely popular, as the tradition of the Lunar New Year is deeply important in Hong Kong culture. The series has continued uninterrupted to this day. Each year, collectors and members of the public eagerly await the new design. The coins are issued by the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and are now available in different sizes and weights, not just the original $1,000 piece. This allows more people to participate in the tradition of collecting them. The Lunar New Year Gold Coin series is a wonderful example of how numismatics can celebrate cultural heritage. It connects the past with the present and has become a cherished part of Hong Kong's modern traditions. Today, Hong Kong's relationship with gold is stronger than ever, but it has changed. Gold coins are no longer used as money for buying and selling things. The Hong Kong dollar is a modern fiat currency, consisting of banknotes and coins made of base metals. However, Hong Kong has become one of the world's most important centers for gold trading and investment. The city has a deep cultural affinity for gold. It is seen as a safe and reliable store of value, a way to protect wealth against inflation and economic uncertainty. Many people in Hong Kong buy gold bars, wafers, and investment-grade coins. The official issuance of Hong Kong gold coins continues through the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. The most prominent issues are the annual Lunar New Year coins. These coins remain very popular as collectibles and as gifts for special occasions, especially for the birth of a baby in a particular zodiac year. In addition to the zodiac series, Hong Kong occasionally issues other special commemorative gold coins to mark significant events or anniversaries. These are premium products aimed squarely at the collector's market and are not intended for circulation. For Americans and other international collectors, Hong Kong gold coins offer a fascinating window into the city's history and culture. The very rare colonial-era patterns, like the 1864 and 1866 gold dollars, are considered world-class numismatic treasures. They command extremely high prices at auction. The modern commemorative issues, from the 1975 Royal Visit coin to the latest Lunar New Year releases, tell the story of modern Hong Kong. They trace its journey from a British colony to a global financial powerhouse with a unique identity. In conclusion, the history of gold coins in Hong Kong is a tale of rarity and special occasions. From the unrealized dreams of the British Empire's gold trade dollar to the celebratory issues of modern times, each coin tells a part of the city's story. While they may not have jingled in the pockets of everyday people, these gold coins served a higher purpose. They marked moments of great historical importance, celebrated cultural traditions, and represented the wealth and ambition of this remarkable city. Today, they stand as shining monuments to the rich and enduring legacy of Hong Kong.